event is being recorded for 2 platforms in Nigeria, 2 platforms. So if you don't mind, it's for a TV station and also for an organization in Nigeria. They've requested for it. So I say good evening to, first of all, to our wonderful chairman, that's Honorable Kenneth Gbandi. Thank you so much for this honor to be in this a very brief meeting, one-on-one with you, one-on-one with Honorable Kenneth Gbandi. Honorable Kenneth, also want to congratulate you on the recent appointment of the national chairman for NWC, African Democratic Congress Party of Nigeria. So that is number 1. And we also want to congratulate you for your efforts and all you've done for Nigeria in the diaspora for the past 8 years, 2 terms. Impressive things you have done. And this is why we've initiated this meeting tonight, this one-on-one conversation with you. So I say welcome again. I say welcome to the guests that are here. And we also have some guests coming on YouTube and on the other platform. So you're all welcome, and I hope we benefit from this discourse today. Yeah, so also with me to ask on the list is my partner, Honorable Chuma from France, and we'll be putting across questions to our chairman, Honorable Kenneth Gbandi. We are waiting for our partner also, Mazi Godson Azu. We're also waiting for another partner again, Don from Holland. So, but before then, we just have to go on. Whoever joins, join. So this is like the speed train. The speed train doesn't really wait for anybody. You know, 2, 3 people who have a number, you have they move. So once again, I say welcome. We initiated this discourse one-on-one with our past outgoing chairman of NIDOE, Europe. We initiated this because I want you to listen. Number 1 is Honorable Kenneth has been a very good, resourceful political figure in Europe. It is not against it's not flattering. It is not pulling legs. It is a fact. The man, life is likened to a mountain. And some people get to that mountain top and they can see they can see all around. So whoever has gone to the mountain top stands a very good chance to tell the rest of us what it's like. What is the horizon like? What is the view like? What is life like? So this is one of the reasons why we have initiated this one-on-one with him. And being that he's an outgoing chairman of an organization that covers all Nigerians in Europe, all Nigerians in Europe, a structure that covers all Nigerians in Europe, he stands a very good chance to give us some facts to what could help in the next stage of our lives, in the next era of Nigerians in diaspora. So that's the intro. Then I want to say this. We are Schengen Story Media House. It's a registered media company here in Italy, and we have coordinators all around Europe. Now, what we're doing is we are also creating memories for Nigerians in Europe. We're using the power we have, the power of publicity, the power of print, the power of media presentation to harness and give Nigeria a positive light. We want to put Nigeria on a positive light. So all this is still building up, and hopefully we will get there. So we are still building, and we have our coordinators all around, from Germany, from Holland, from France, from the UK, and from Italy. So once again, I say welcome. So I'm starting straight away so that I don't take Honorable Kenneth. Honorable Kenneth, you have to unmute yourself, sir, so that you can. Yes, unmute yourself. Please say something to welcome in, sir.
Thank you so much, Schengen Media.
Now we have 10 viewers on YouTube. Go ahead, sir.
Again, it's always a pleasure to be on your program. Not only that, Father, you're very dynamic, and you have all the energy it is to make what I call Nigeria superpower possible in 20 years. So I'm always very pleased to be on your program and to share ideas with fellow compatriots like you and also fellow compatriots across Europe on how we can put hands together to build a better Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kenneth, I've been able to see, I've been opportune to follow some of the things you do. And we are not going to be emotional. We are not going to be sentimental. We're going to be straight up factual, facts. One thing about Africans and Nigerians is we're very emotional people, but it's okay. But tonight we're going to be factual. And the fact of the matter is that you have made an impact. You have made an impact in the Nigerian community in the diaspora. It's a fact. I have studied it. There is something we do that I do very well, and it's called background check. When we meet people, leaders, we look really who does he say he is. And I've been able to get these facts, and I see that of a truth, you've made an impact. It is not easy to carry a people like Nigeria that's outside of Nigeria, because here we are scattered. Here, a lot of things factors affect. Things are not as it is back home. So, but you were able, in your power, with your influence, were able to still make a move, and that's very impressive. So, I want to start with this first question, and the crowd is growing on YouTube, and hopefully it's growing here too. Living as a Nigerian in Europe, what do you say, sir? What do you say living as a Nigerian in Europe? What do you say about that?
First and foremost, I want to use the opportunity to thank all Nigerians in Europe. We have over 6-7 million Nigerians in Europe. And in the past 4 years, I've had the privilege and honor to be the chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Organization in Europe, which covered, like you rightly said, an umbrella organization for all Nigerians in Europe. I can assure you, to the last of my blood, to tell you that in spite of the problems we're having in Nigeria, Nigerians are very, very patriotic. Nigerians are good followers. Nigerians, a few exceptional cases, are good leaders. And that's why it bleeds my heart to see the situation in our country today, where the leadership has actually been compromised at all level, from the local government to the federal level. Having said that, we have a very, very, very good Nigerians who are actually sticking out their necks, betting on their lives to make Nigeria a better place. Look at the NSAS movement, for instance. These are Nigerian youths who believe in the future of this country, who went to the street to do what we could not do in the past 25 years. So I think that there is a hope for Nigeria. And I think all we need to do is to key into that. Now, coming back to Europe, what I have to say is that, like I said, if you look at every Nigerian in Europe, just take a kind of a census across Europe. You see, whenever we see green, white, green, in spite of all the frustration, they are very, very patriotic about Nigeria. They are emotional about Nigeria. They bet their life on Nigeria. That's why it's so disheartening that those Nigerians across Europe who believe in that entity called Nigeria are being let down by the kind of leadership we have. And so I would just say that an average Nigerian in Europe is patriotic. An average Nigerian in Europe wants to see that Nigeria compete in the League of Nations. An average Nigerian in Europe wants to see a giant of Africa in Nigeria. And unfortunately, that's not what we're saying. But it's good to know that with the NSAS movement demonstration across Europe, Nigerians in Europe has demonstrated once again that they believe in that country and they are willing to do what it takes to have a change. I'll stop there for now, sir.
Thank you very much. Good. Okay. I'm putting my questions first, then the other contributors will come in. My second question is this. What are the factors that you think will be affecting Nigerians in Europe in the years to come? What are the factors that have been affecting us in the time past? And what are the factors that will affect us in the years to come?
I will start with the first question. The first question is that for the past 20 years, to the best of my memory, Nigeria has lacked what we called a diaspora policy, which means how can the Nigerians in diaspora contribute to homeland development? It's been lacking. In spite of all the lip services they play about what Nigerians are doing in diaspora, our contributions and the rest of them, I believe that it's only on lip service. Why do I say that? One of the fundamental rights of every Nigerian is the right to vote and be voted for. And we have over 20 million Nigerians in diaspora, and yet we are not allowed to vote. I mean, the statistics we've shown on this program shows that in the past 2, 3, 4 years, the remittances of Nigerians in diaspora has kept Nigeria from being a bankrupt nation. Our remittances has kept Nigeria flowing, kept Nigeria alive. So it's paradoxical that the same community, the same constituency that kept Nigeria going, is also denied of having the opportunity to determine who their leaders are. So I think one of the factors militating against the effective contributions of Nigerians in diaspora is that we lack effective diaspora policy. As God will have it, we have Diaspora Commission today. Unfortunately, what we have is a one-man commission. And all the ideals of constituting a board of Nigerian Diaspora Commission to have an effective, all-inclusive contribution to diaspora contribution is not available today. The Diaspora Commission is supposed to be the parliament of the diaspora, where we can contribute, interface with different organizations to make sure that we have our contribution to national development. Unfortunately, it's missing. So I would think that Nigerians in diaspora, irrespective of our political affiliation, irrespective of tribe and religion, we should work together to make sure that the Diaspora Commission is constituted. That's number one. Number two, we have to work together to make sure that the diaspora voting is a reality in 2023. Now, a lot of people have asked me, what makes you think that your vote will count if the vote of people in Nigeria is not counting? My experience is simple, that it is easier to rig an election when the margin of difference is a little bit small, 5 to 3% or so. When you have a massive outing in the electoral process, where you have about 50, 30, 40%, as the case may be, difference, it becomes impossible for any political party to rig the election. So I think diaspora voting is going to be very, very crucial to the a new Nigeria. And I think, like I said, Nigerian Diaspora Commission is going to be very, very crucial. Of course, it is also very crucial that Nigerians in diaspora support the NSAS movement with whatever means they can, legally, financially, as well as holding accountable to every individual, no matter how highly placed they are, that contribute in the killing of Nigerians innocent Nigerians who are protesting for better things in Nigeria. When we start doing this, I think we'll begin to have the necessary change that you are looking for.
Very good. Sorry, before I round up with my own question, there's a very good question from YouTube. Somebody from YouTube just wrote a name that says is Niger Up. He says, what is one suggestion you can give to the new NIDOE chairman?
Well, I think every leadership have their own style of leadership. We have been able to conduct the first and the freest election in the history of NIDOE. I have a preferred candidate, so to say, but everybody knows that my preferred candidate did not win. Why? Because we allow the voters to have the final say. And so I would prefer that I will advise him to keep to the rules of law, to make sure that the members of NIDOE have the final say, and to strive as much as possible to listen to all criticism. We have some criticism that are not very constructive, but all the same to give a room, for people to vent their frustration, whether rightly or wrongly. And when you do that, we have an inclusive participation in diaspora affairs in search of homeland for development. And when he do that, but I trust that he has the ability and capability, having served in different capacity in this organization, I believe he has the ability and capability to steer NIDOE in the right direction.
Thank you very much. Okay, I open to my partner in France. Chuma, can you bring your one question, please? Because there are questions pouring out from the YouTube section. Go ahead, Chuma.
Okay, Honorable, it's a pleasure having you on board today.
Thank you, sir.
There are questions I have, but let me start with one. Here in you have ruled us for some time, and we have seen a lot of good works you've done. But we want to find out from you, please, what effort did you make or have you put in place to see that we Nigerians in diaspora, especially in Europe here, have a good interrelationship with our staff and ambassadors in embassies in Europe?
Thank you very much for that question. Very critical. When I took over my second reign of chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Organization is to pay a courtesy call of all the ambassadors. I was in Austria, I was in Germany, I was in UK, I was in Vienna, I was scheduled to go to Italy and other cases in the second half before the corona outbreak. Now, what we have done is to make sure that a lot of our ambassadors, unfortunately, they are not professional ambassadors. They are political appointees. Because they are political appointees, they do not understand the fundamental requirement from them as diplomats to reach out to Nigerians in diaspora. They are where they are simply because of Nigerians in diaspora. They are here to serve us. Unfortunately, most of them do not know that. So my courtesy visit across this European country is to make them to understand they are in Europe because of Nigerians in diaspora, and they have to have access to Nigerians in diaspora. So that is what we've been trying to, do, so to say. Apart from this various diasporal visit, we've been also organized a lot of conferences where we invite ambassadors to come to an interactive section where Nigerians in diaspora can air their views, to tell the ambassadors or the embassies what is not working and what is working. A couple of ambassadors took this initiative, like ambassador from Nigeria in Dublin, the one in Vienna, the one in Sweden, and not Sweden. Yeah, the one in Sweden, the outgoing one in Sweden, as well as the one in Austria. If I have not mentioned that, a couple of them they took that initiative. We have interactive sections where we have them and have an open door town hall meeting where we share our differences, especially our problems and the rest of them. And so these are the kind of problems we have, the kind of initiative we have taken on. And honestly speaking, a couple of them actually, key into this initiative, and it worked. And if you look at those embassies where they have a very good interaction with Nigerian community and the Nigerians in diaspora, they've been doing extremely well. Of course, you know that I always used to say that Nigerians in diaspora did not fall from heavens. They came from Nigeria. So we still have this Nigerian mentality. Even when you put up a very good programs to address Nigerians' issue, they actually accuse you, of causing up to the embassies, and of course they start questioning your ability and your mandate to intercede on behalf of Nigerians in diaspora, when it comes to consular issues. But these are the burdens of leadership. So these are the part of the problems with the programs we put in place in the last 4 years. Some has been very, very successful, some not. And that, like the last question is, we only have to, share our experiences with the incoming executive where we have failed, and hope that the incoming executive will take it up from there and push to the finish line. But yes, to round up your question, we have had a lot of initiatives where we complain about. I will give you a typical example. In Georgia, the Nigerians, about 1,000 Nigerians, both students and non-students, they were not having their visas because Georgia does not have a Nigerian embassy. We have to intervene physically and send delegation to Nigerian immigration in Abuja. Luckily enough, the Comptroller General of Immigration saw reason with our arguments and sent a special intervention and saved about 1,000 Nigerians from Georgia from being deported, leading to the creation of a diaspora desk at the Office of the Nigerian Immigration. And that has saved a lot of, not only in Georgia, facilitate business people going to Nigeria, as well as is the issue of consular problems of most Nigerians. I can continue to go on and on, but because of the time factor, I will stop at that. But yes, like I said, it's a very important question, and we contributed to the best of our ability to addressing such issues.
Thank you very much, sir. Sorry, Honorable Chuma, there's a very important question from YouTube. The viewers from YouTube. He says, why is NIDOE more into qualified and academically Nigerian members? I don't know. Do you understand that, sir?
I understand that. Let me say that, to be honest with you, it's been a problem. I want to be very honest. When NIDOE started, NIDOE was meant to be for professionals, academicians, lawyers, doctors, and the rest of them. When I took over NIDOE Europe, especially coming from the background of Germany, in Germany, a taxi driver is a professional. In Germany, a barber, a hair salonist is a professional. So you have to redefine what a professional is. And NIDOE says in search of homeland development. And that means anybody, a taxi driver, a street sweeper, who is trained and has the ability to contribute to national development is a professional. So this argument or this, this impression that NIDOE is for professional was actually as a result of the founding issues or the founding ideology that led to that. But eventually, that was not what it is today, because it has been redefined to mean professionals, and these professionals are anybody who could contribute to national development. I will assure anybody who have anything to contribute, whether you're a barber, whether you're a bricklayer, but as long as you have anything to contribute, you are a professional and you're welcome to NIDOE.
Thank you very much. Okay, the train is moving. While the questions were going on, some honorables were coming in, some of the panelists. It is called One-on-One Schengen Story Virtual Town Hall Meeting. One-on-one with Honorable Kenneth Gbandi, the outgoing chairman of NIDOE, and the Deputy National Chairman for Democratic Congress Party of Nigeria. So you're welcome, Donald. Comrade Donald, you're welcome. Mazi Godson, Osinachi Bimbo. Mazi Godson, are you there? You're welcome. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much. And
great.
Thank you very much.
Great. Okay. The questions are,
yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No, I'm greeting biggest there.
All right, sir. So it's called One-on-One with our good friend and brother, and we are putting questions onto him. Like we said earlier, the man that has climbed the mountaintop sees the overview and the whole landscape of everything. Honorable Kenneth was at the top of the mountain of Nigerian affairs in Europe. So we are asking questions that will also help in the new tenor and also help us march forward as Nigerians in Europe. Because no doubt, there has never been a time more like this, a dynamic and a great time for Nigerians in Europe, like more than this, when an awareness is growing, when people are beginning to realize the power they have. Nigerians are strong people. We can make a lot and change outcome in our country. So you're welcome, Honorable Don and Mazi Azu. So I give it to you two to put your questions to our chairman, our outgoing chairman. So who is starting? Is that Donald? Are you ready? Okay, he said Azu. Mazi Godson, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. We give you the 1 minute. There are questions from the YouTube corner of the view. We have 30-something number of people there. So let me just put this question to the Honorable. Sir, what is the way forward for Nigerians in Europe? What is the way forward? What are some of those things that can bring some progress in the totality of Nigerians in Europe?
Thank you very much for that question again. My number one priority is to make sure that Nigerians in diaspora are able to vote. Because the fundamental aspect of democracy is to have the right to choose those who govern you. And to do that, Nigerians able to vote is number one priority for Nigerians in Europe. I think I see that as one of the number one way forward. Secondly, we have a Diaspora Commission, like I've mentioned. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's a body which I call the Diaspora Parliament. No matter whatever the imperfections are, the idea of this parliament is to be able to interact with the federal government to convey our wish and our wishes and aspiration. It has to be constituted. And I would like to beg every Nigerian, the former or the current Kaduna State Governor, Rufai, once said, A lot of people shy away from politics because they think it's a dirty game. A lot of people shy away from politics because they say it is for whatever you want to define them or call them. But when you shy away from politics, the idiots and the incompetents takes over the leadership of the country and they make policy for both of us. And so when the good people have refused to take over, to get involved in politics, then they give room to the non-entities to take over the control of the countries, and they end up ruling us, and we can only complain that they're not doing it very correctly. Irrespective of your political affiliation, whichever one it is, get involved in politics, because it is only then and then we can push out the people we felt are not representing us very well, and they will be able to to have a superpower Nigeria in the next 20 years. So yes, I think we should be politically involved. We should be socially, economically involved. We should get involved in Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, which is an interface with the federal government, but as well as get involved in any other social economic or cultural organization about the advocacy for good governance and helping our people. Above all, there has been a revolution in Nigeria, even if you call it a soft revolution, and that is the End SARS movement. Every well-meaning Nigerian in diaspora should support that movement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
If I may come in then.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to congratulate our newly able Chairman Emeritus, who has proven himself in the terms of community leadership and national interest advocacy for Nigerians in the diaspora and also the Nigerians back home. I know the future is very, very bright for you, irrespective of all the challenges. I know with the experiences you have gained over the last 8 years, running the leadership of diasporans in Germany, and then the diasporan collective community in the whole of Europe. At the moment, you've been given a new mantle of leadership that will take you beyond just the diaspora, but engagement with the Nigerian structure. I want to say, or ask, what are the critical challenges you faced as a chair of NIDOE Europe in terms of result-oriented engagement with the Nigerian agencies or ministries or government as a whole during your time in office? And what would be your advice for any future leadership across Europe or the continental bodies on how they can successfully or monumentally face the challenge of engagement with the Nigerian government and its agencies? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mazi Azo. I want to start by thanking you as one of the pillars of the diaspora. I think the success we have earned in the last 4 years could not be complete without people like you, who is fearless, who is patriotic, and who does not shy away from calling a spade a spade. So I want to thank you so much for all your support throughout my leadership, which makes it one of the most successful in the history of NIDOE. I'm sure that you're asking this question for the benefit of the people who do not understand what we have been or what we've gone through in the last 4 years, because I'm sure that you are very, very much aware of the issues at stake. And the fact is that the federal government of Nigeria are scared of the diaspora. They can say all what they want to say in public, but privately they are scared of the diaspora because they know that they cannot control us. So that means that they are trying as much as possible to use a divide and rule tactics to make sure that the diasporas are not united. I keep hearing some, questions like there is a fight in this Nigerian organization, there's a fight in the other Nigerian organization, and I ask myself, APC recently has been divided into 2 or 3, 4 different fractions. Are they not ruling Nigeria? PDP is there with its problem, fighting one another, having fractions here and there. Are they not in Nigeria? So why would they expect that NIDOE is going to be a very, very perfect organization where they will not have issues? So, but they highlight most of this problem because they think that by so doing, and they have to divide and rule us, so to say. So the challenges we have had is that the people who are actually saddled with the responsibility to interface with the diaspora are not sincere in carrying out that this duty. They play politics. They put parties first rather than the nation first, which is very, very unfortunate. But having said that, we cannot give up from engaging. We'll continue to engage them, no matter how frustrating it is. And my advice to the incoming chairman or anybody who aspire to lead the Nigerian diaspora organization is to be patient and have a thick skin. He will be accused, he will be called names, but to remain focused in carrying out whatever he thinks or she thinks is going to benefit Nigeria as a nation. And I think as long as we are keeping country first, irrespective of the challenges, we will get there. The challenge we have in the past is that, like I said, the government, though they recognize the potentials of the diaspora, they have tried with all necessary means to undercut the influence of the diaspora. Just imagine 20 million Nigerians voting in one direction or the other in a Nigerian election. It's going to tilt power. It's going to tilt the outcome of every election. And they are not very, very sad. They're not very, very happy with that. And so they will do everything it takes to make us look irrelevant. They will do everything it takes to make us look divided so that we will not have a common voice to speak against this. As we move forward, my plea to all diaspora, irrespective of political affiliation, that we should put our heads and our house together to make sure that we achieve diaspora registration. And with that, that's going to be the beginning of Nigerian, what I called the year of the diaspora returns, which actually starts yesterday rather than today.
Thank you very much. Honorable, please, I beg you to give one more chance because we can't have the question, the panel, and you don't get from each one of us. So there is still one more person. That's Comrade Don from Holland. He has just one question for you before you leave. The Honorable will leave us after this question, please, because he has another engagement somewhere. So go ahead, Don.
Okay. Thank you, Ken, and thank you, the moderator. My question is this. I totally agree with you that the diaspora should have rights to vote. Okay, we should have a say. We should put our mouth where our money is, given our contribution to the socio-economic stability of Nigeria, given our remittances to Nigeria, which has sustained a lot of socio-economic activities. But if the votes by Nigerians in Nigeria don't count, how do you think ours will make a difference? Okay, I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to imply that we shouldn't pursue diasporans voting rights. But what I'm trying to say is that what have we done to make sure that votes in Nigeria count? Because if votes in Nigeria don't count, ours as well wouldn't count.
Thank you so much. You are absolutely very correct. Absolutely. I don't even want to debate that. But let me look it from the different directive. It's just like somebody saying that you have your inheritance from your father, and you are not going to be sure if the inheritance will make any difference in your life or make a difference in the life of your relations. The fact remains that it's your daddy's inheritance. It's your right. What happens afterwards is a different ballgame. The right to vote is a fundamental right for every Nigerian. Let's take it first, then wonder whether it's going to work or not. But having said that, I mentioned that probably before you came on board, that election becomes very easy to rig if the difference of margin is, let me say, 20% or 15% or 5%. It becomes very easy to manipulate because they can just cancel 2 or 3 polling votes and award their fictitious result, and then they say that the XYZ won rather than the person that really won. But if you have a 20 million vote or 15 million vote against a particular candidate, it becomes impossible to rig. Because if you do that, the NSAS movement will become a child's play in Nigeria. So that is why I am of the feeling that while your concern is legitimate and must be addressed, we should not stop at that. Because there's something they say in my native language, which is in Igbo language, that you cannot say because of somebody is going to be shot and died and you're not going to go to war. So you have to still do what you have to do and address these consequences as they come. Like I said again, your query is legitimate. The question is, what can we do to make sure that the vote that we are going to cast and that the vote of, in fact, every Nigerian counts?
Yes.
And it's left for both of us to begin to brainstorm. I will give you a very good example. Mazi Azu is here on the forum, who I will beg to stand in for me when I leave this platform. We just conducted a NIDOE Europe election online, and it went smoothly, fantastic, in spite of one or two hitches, which means we want to demonstrate that we can have an electronic voting that is free, fair, and away from manipulation. And if we can do that in diaspora, we should be able to push that in Nigeria to make sure that such electronic voting, takes place. Don't forget that there's a bill before the parliament in Nigeria to authorize electronic voting. We have our passport, we have our IDs. Look at what is happening in our banking sector. If you transfer 10 euro today, 10 naira today, within 3 seconds, the next person is having it with your BVN. If they can do that with the banking sector, with money, which is most sensitive. If they can do that with the banking sector, it is possible with diaspora voting. It's possible with electronic voting. So let us not really allow them to run the argument to say that, your vote will not count. Let's get to that bridge and we'll cross it. But like I said, if we can do diaspora remittances, if we can do BVN, bank transfer, and it gets there with your BVN, with your passport, without any problem, we can do that with voting. Believe me. And we can do that. It is not that we cannot do that. It's the lack of political will that is keeping us, not the lack of know-how. Nigerians has been shown over and over all over the world to be one of the group of country with the best brain in the world. We can do that. And I believe and I know that we have the capability and capacity to do that. All what we need is a good leadership to make sure it happens. And the good leadership does not come free. We need to fight for that. And the NSAS movement has just begun that. I will be willing to, have a section on with you, in the future to have this interesting debate, because I think it's a very, very important debate and a very, very important question.
Thank you very much, Chairman Kenneth Gbandi. Thank you so much. The fact this short stay has been very, very impressive and very educative. We've taken a lot. I want to say this to everybody here. Our chairman will leave us because he has other activities to attend to. But we continue. Why we'll continue? Like I said, Azu has been a member of my executive for the past 3.5 years. I'm sure he is capable of taking some questions on my behalf. Yes, and he will do that. Also, while we're going on, there are some very strong VIPs in our midst too. I have with me here my very good friend. He muted his phone, and that's the president of the Nigerian community in Italy, Samson Hodge. I also have with me here also Honorable Sir Matthew from the UK, and I have a friend also, Samuel Dada from Mantova, Italy. There is also Mike Omeliko, that's also the president of Nigerian Association in Naples, Napoli. So we continue. The event still goes on. Somebody here that is standing on behalf of the Honorable is Mazi Godson Azu. He's the Osinachindi Igbo and a re-elected NIDOE BOT member. He's the social officer for NIDOE Europe. So Honorable Godson, are you open? There are questions coming from YouTube side section and questions to be asked on this platform. I hope you're there, Honorable Godson. Azu?
Yes, I'm here. I'll be doing a lot of multitasking because I'm still at work, but I'll be responding as much as I have the few minutes to do.
Okay.
But I'm glad to be with you guys. It's my great pleasure. It's a wonderful opportunity to share my great experience and to support the good work that our able chair emeritus, Honorable Chief Kenneth Gbandi, has done in Europe for NIDOE and for Nigerians as a whole. And it's my great pleasure. I look forward to the questions. And I will
Yes, there are questions from the YouTube section, and one vital one I would have asked the chairman before he left is, somebody wrote, he says his name is Simi. He said, how can NATO reach the grassroots of Europe? So I think you can speak for that. How can NATO, are you there? Reach the grassroots?
Yeah.
That's the question from YouTube section.
Yeah. Fantastic. NIDOE is for everybody. NIDOE is for all Nigerians. NIDOE is for anyone that says and believes he's a Nigerian and he lives anywhere in the world across the globe. And with regards to Nigerians in countries across Europe, the UK, Northern Ireland, we are working, and I believe that the new leadership of NIDOE will do greater effort or do more justice to what has been set up to reach out to all Nigerians. Reaching out to the Nigerians diaspora at the grassroots level will be by working out a strategy to interface with Nigerians in universities, interface with Nigerians in various colleges and in various countries around Europe and the UK, interface with Nigerian associations, interface with Nigerian student unions, interface with Nigerian socio-cultural organizations across all the countries in Europe and the UK, because you cannot just see any black man and assume he's a Nigerian. But there is a saying that says, in every 5 black men you see in anywhere, it is apparently estimated that 3 out of that 5 are likely to be Nigerians. But then we cannot identify them if we don't know that they belong to any particular body or group or organization or society or school. With that, we can be able to reach as many Nigerians wherever they are, because I know that irrespective of what may be the condition of many Nigerians in many countries in Europe, they still belong to either their small community village association, they belong to their old school in Nigerian association, they belong to schools union in the universities or colleges where they are in Italy, France, Germany, Switzerland, Poland, Greece, Portugal, Ireland, and so on and so forth. And so we are working towards that agenda, and at the same time, we are going to ensure that all the chapters, at the moment we have 22 chapters across Europe, and we want to ensure that membership at the chapter is not an elitist membership. It's not just people close to you or people you know you relate with on the phone or your business, but that all the chapters are able to find the reputable and assured platforms, such as media platforms like yours, the Shanghai Magazine. With the Shanghai Magazine, I'm sure with a note of advert, a note of information on Shanghai Magazine online or on the hard copy print, many people that read it will be able to be informed that there is a body that they need to belong to ensure that their interests in terms of issues happening to them in the diaspora are entirely captured and projected to the authorities, both at the embassies and also at home in Nigeria. Also, we are going to be working with the embassies in all the countries across Europe because the embassies are one of the stop shop for all Nigerians, wherever they are. Whether you have Nigerian passport or you don't have a Nigerian passport, you are sure that if you need any services to identify who you are, you go to the embassy. And so we're going to be relating with all the embassies, rekindle relationship with the embassies, and ensure that the embassies play their greater and patriotic role in ensuring that as many Nigerians that come over for passport assistance, come for social welfare assistance at the embassies, they signpost them to NIDOE as an organization recognized by government, recognized by the functionary agencies of government in Nigeria and also in the diaspora. So we're going to make sure that at the embassies there are leaflets produced by the chapters, there are signposting posters produced by the chapters, and also that the embassy is ensuring that people are aware of the need for them to be part of NIDOE organization. So those are the key things we are going to be working at, to reach out to as many people at the grassroots level, professionals, students, workers, traders, businessmen, all forms of Nigerians, class of people in the diaspora. We will ensure that they get to know that NIDOE is there for them, and they are also supposed to be part of that organization in order to contribute towards national development in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mazi Azu. There are questions pouring in, but I want to open to our guests online, our guests on the Zoom line. So you're free to open your phone and put one question to the NIDOE officials. So Honorable Mike Omeliko, are you there, sir? Are you open to, are you ready to say something? Go ahead, sir.
Well, I don't have much to say other than to listen. But when I was listening to the I think the outgoing president,
Yes,
where he was saying if NIDOE successfully conducted election online, we can do that also in Nigeria. I was a bit shocked when that remark came on, because making such an important election online, it means you have to have a good security structure in place, which is not there. We cannot. We've lived when the central bank was brought down by cyber criminals, because we don't have the basic structures. All our servers are hosted overseas. No meaningful nation does that overseas. All nations have their own cyber structures right in home, guided in home, and secured in home. Once you don't have that, you can be sure that there will be no fair elections. But then let's come back to the issue of the Nigerians overseas. Well, we've lived years of agony and hardship in Nigeria. We can testify that it is not good, neither for them at home, neither for we overseas in the diaspora. So the issue of saying the political power back home is afraid of the diasporians, well, I have nothing to really hook to this. But we should. Mine is a suggestion and a remark to take back home. We should not be looking at one another as antagonists, but we should be looking at ourselves as group of people who want to build that country. Because if that country is good for me, it will be good for everybody. And that means we should be looking inward to give solutions to our problems and not looking outward for solutions. Because if one thing that is killing us in that country and virtually in Africa is because we don't have our own engineering, we don't have our own information technology, we don't have our own banking structure, we don't have anything. And once you don't have anything in place, whatever you do is seen as illegal because it is not according to their structure here. Now, if I should bring it down to a layman's language, if anybody here see me swallowing my akpu, eba, or anything, they will say I will suffocate myself. And that they will then make a law to make it illegal as me. But when I say it is illegal in my country, it is illegal. Once I say it is legal in my country, it is legal everywhere. In a very short note, is that we should learn to first go back and give solutions to our problems.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And the basis of this is going once this I've been hearing of restructuring, but the basis is reconstruction. And to reconstruct means we have to go back to our classrooms and begin to groom up our future Nigerians. Thank you.
That's a good one. Chuma, are you there? Yes, go ahead. There is also Don. Don, we're still with you. Chuma, go ahead.
Okay. Like I really put the question across to our President Emeritus. I want to put another question across. There are some of our sisters and that are on the street. Everywhere we go, we keep hearing about our people on the way and all those things. Many of them are there not because they want to be there. Many of them are there because they can't find their states. And again, many of our brothers also on the streets because they can't find good jobs. They can't find their papers. So what is NIDOE doing to see that Nigerians who have difficulties with papers, who find themselves on the street, are really taken care of or redirected and helped to get papers and get good jobs? Because if you go around everywhere, the image of Nigeria is not that too good, but to me it is good. People bring out only the negative side of Nigeria, but we are saying that so many good things about us. So what is NIDOE doing to see that those few negative images of our nation that they always bounce on, that they turn it around and be pushing in the better ones and be bringing in the real good things that we are doing in this country? And the bad. Thank you.
Yes, that goes to Mazi Godson. Did you get the question?
Yes, I got the question. I mean, it's a very, very vital question. Very, very germane question. Very resourceful question, which has its different dimensions of answering that question. One of them being that is vital for us to be able to know and identify those our fellow brothers and sisters who are struggling to legalize themselves or struggling to get out of some legal challenges in the countries where they reside. But two things I want to point out here is NIDOE is an organization that is open to all Nigerians. And the essence of NIDOE is to interface between the Nigerian diasporans and the government of Nigeria back home in Nigeria. The fact is that the government needed to be able to identify with those potentials that can be of value to bringing about all kinds of social and economic and political development to Nigeria. And they needed that interface between the Nigerians and the government. And that's the middle role NIDOE is supposed to be playing. When we come to the issues of the welfare and the social being of the basic Nigerians across various countries in Europe and the UK, the Association of Nigerians, the body that look after Nigerians in those countries and interface with the embassy, are solely responsible for doing those jobs. The only thing that NIDOE can do is to ensure that if the issue becomes an international politics or becomes an international challenge, diplomacy, a serious diplomacy, and then on behalf of the entire Nigerians and the organization, NIDOE will intervene with the government of Nigeria to act or to respond or to retaliate in a positive or negative way to whatever that country is doing to Nigerians in that country. So we should be able to understand the difference. So if you come like in Italy, you have the National Association of Nigerians in Italy. That is an association that is meant to identify various Nigerians that are having issues in Italy, having challenges with regularizing themselves, having challenges with the law, the police for criminal or whatever offenses. And this association would intervene in most of those cases, helping those individuals to locate or signpost them to organizations that are within the association that helps people with immigration problem, that helps people with criminal issues in that country, and also interfacing them with the embassy to ensure that the embassy does play their role in terms of whether they want to deport the person, they are looking for his passport or whatever. The association works with the embassy and works with the individual to ensure that their welfare in that country, their social being in that country are taken care of. But if that becomes an issue where the government of Italy is becoming very aggressive in terms of deporting Nigerians without due processes, without following the international practices for deportations, and such members are identified with NIDOE, then NIDOE can interject with the government of Nigeria through the agency called NIDCOM, and to say Nigerians in this country are being manhandled, are being maltreated by the government of Italy or France or whatever, and NIDOE is saying this is unacceptable and we want the government of Nigeria to intervene or act on that issue. So these are the areas we tend to work in good collaboration with associations of Nigerians in every country in conjunction with NIDOE chapters in that country. Like we have here in the UK, we have the Central Association of Nigerians, the Central Association of Nigerians in the UK, CANUC, which is the umbrella body of all over 200 associations of Nigerians in the UK. The chairman of that association is a member of NIDOE, and the chairman of CANUC is a member of IMO Union and the Nigerian Law Forum, which are both also a member of CANUC. So you can see that in UK, there's a kind of a connection between the association and the diaspora NIDOE here. So informations are exchanged at both ends to know when each other can support each association or each body to reach the necessary authorities in order to help that situation. So I would say that in some countries, a lot have been done. In the UK here, there's a lot of people that have been supported who are having deportation problems, are having immigration problems, are having issues with the government in terms of welfare, housing, and all those things. We have bodies put together that are helping them. But then we will not want to be dragging NIDOE affair to all those part of daily activities of Nigerians that will go in conflict with already existing associations who are taking care of those responsibilities in most countries across Europe and in the UK. So, but then we are working together with all those associations. We are working with the embassy, but our strongest influence and link is that the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognizes NIDOE as an interface body to share information and share challenges with the government in Nigeria, and can pursue the government to intervene on issues regarding Nigerians all over. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that very explanatory statement. Yes, we are still open to more questions from the guests on the Zoom line. If you have a question, one question each, so that we round up soon. We have so many questions from the YouTube side, but it's just so many. I want to give the Zoom guests more the chance to ask. So if you're here and you feel like you can raise up your hand, and if not, I take, okay, go ahead, sir. That's Mr. Honorable Iwanyao. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Good evening, Judge.
All right, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Good evening, sir.
My name is Anyoribe Anyanwu. I'm not honorable anything.
Yes.
I'm a Nigerian,
Thank you.
a member of NIDOE. I've been invited to this meeting.
Thank you.
I want to make a few comments. I'm not necessarily asking a question. One thing is obvious. The NIDOE members and every person here is expecting too much for NIDOE, as if to say NIDOE is the Nigerian government itself. Most of the issues you are raising are really no questions for NIDOE. NIDOE has no opportunity and has no legal background to issue identities and passports to any Nigerian, neither in Europe, nor in Japan, nor anywhere. It is exclusively the function of a Nigerian government and its representative in a foreign country. Number two, the question of migration. Yes, somebody talked about gentlemen and women in the streets who were not invited by, and including this, by NIDOE to go and stay there. We have been having, especially from Germany, a movement trying to educate Nigerian youth not to undertake unplanned journey to Europe, especially. Most of you know how many, we don't know the number, but you know how much suffering we have across the Sahara, how many drowned people we have across the Mediterranean, how many have died in European and foreign prisons, how many have been killed in places in Northern Africa. So we have, for instance, the Paduja, initiated by a member of NIDOE in Germany, who went to Nigeria and was carrying out a campaign. In this campaign, the outgoing president, Gbandi, was also involved, and many other Nigerians whom I would like to mention here. But there's so many of them. Just don't embark on journey to a foreign country if you don't know where you are going to, what you are going to do there, and the resources you have to accomplish your wish. That is a fundamental thing anything should do. I do concentrate on these things, and not on any organization, whether it is foreign or Nigerian, coming to, let's say, have an influence on people who, despite the fact that they were advised not to go because they don't know the dangers outside there, still leave Nigerian shores and were waiting and praying that any God will come and help them out. That is an issue which we have to clear with these people. That does not mean that we shouldn't help. Help is always there, also from NIDOE. And the very same people who try to tell them, please don't go. They are the people who go to get them when they are stranded in Indonesia, when they're stranded in Malaysia, when they're stranded in Italy, and when they're stranded anywhere. But the point is, you must think of the resources NIDOE has. You must think of the resources the individual has. You must think of the mandate he has. If somebody is in police custody in Germany, in Lampedusa or somewhere else, except that you know the person and inform Nigerian officials in those areas, that is literally nothing you can do. Now, I want to go to another issue, which is the government of Nigeria and the diaspora Nigerians. You see, we are lucky that we are among ourselves in the diaspora. It is easier to dialogue among ourselves, whether you are in Italy, Germany, England, America, or somewhere else. But it's not easy to dialogue with any person in Nigeria, any government official in Nigeria. We are all pretending that since we are outside, it should be easy for us to go there. No. I remember when Obasanjo made his first trip to Germany after becoming a civilian president. He had a conference with us in Berlin. In fact, without saying anything, the first statement he made is, I know why all of you are here. There is nothing we can offer you. There's nothing we can do for you. But if any one of you thinks, please note this statement, if any one of you thinks he has anything to offer us, then let him come forward and tell us, and we'll try to help him out. This is not a story told me. I was present at that meeting, and he came with the governor of Rivers State of the time. So, please, what I'm saying, we have our wishes, and our wishes doesn't correspond with the practice or what we think that should obtain in Nigeria. I, for one, have left my job in Germany, spent 5 years in the University of Port Harcourt as the chair of surgery. I wasn't able to move a thing. As a matter of fact, there was collective thought that I should quit Nigeria. So, before you say you don't know that the government would not want input of Nigerian diasporas, see, there are many Nigerians in diaspora who can tell you a similar and maybe worse stories. That is the thing. And as far as voting is concerned, there is no question. I don't have any problem with defending any Nigerian who wants to have and retain his franchise. But being able to vote is not that alone. The point is, how would you create the environment and the logistics to make it possible for Nigerians in diaspora to vote? How would you, where is the, create the environment. And very soon you tell the Nigerians, oh, you are entitled to vote, but we have no money to have the voting booths either in Copenhagen, in Berlin, or in Athens, or anywhere else. And remember how many Nigerians we have There's no country in Nigeria that doesn't have, in the world, that doesn't have Nigerians. No country in the world that doesn't have Nigerians. And not just one single fellow, many, many of them. That is an issue we have to talk about. This logistic. Look, the diasporans can vote. And if you have leaders like Kenneth Gbandi, it's not difficult to bring us all together. It's not. At least from the faces I've seen here, I've never seen them before. And I'm sure you haven't even seen my face before.
Yes.
So easy is it to communicate among ourselves that go home to Nigeria. You try to speak to a governor, you try to speak to a permanent secretary, you try even to speak to a nurse in a hospital. Excuse me. That is the aggression we are talking, the lack of interface tuition between Nigerian government and the diasporans out. And then try to apply for a job in any government institution. They call you a runaway. And you expect them to come and quit their position and give it to you? Sorry. They want your money. They want your resources. They don't want you there. That is my experience. I have to be proven right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I use the word honorable because look at what you've just said. These are deep, these are very, very intelligent statements. So calling you an honorable, you deserve it. Please take that. It's not in any other form, but in respect to your knowledge and what you have with you, what you have just put out here now. Yes, the discussion is going on. It is called a virtual town hall meeting, where we meet to discuss as Nigerians in the diaspora, in Europe more especially. And I'm impressed with how it's going. Yes, my president is here and he's raising up his hand. Please, sir, Mr. Mike, I will call you after this. Let my brother give his take. Samson, go ahead, sir. President Samson, go ahead, sir. Open your phone. No, you have to, okay.
All right, first I would like to say good evening to everybody on board.
Good evening, sir.
I have attentively listened to various comments, but what prompted it might be because I look at, first of all, what is the title before I say something.
Yes.
The virtual meeting was one-on-one with Emeritus Kenneth Gbandi, and it appears is a one-on-one questions. And maybe I will start by, first of all, telling the moderator or the convener.
Yes.
You know, yes, of course, people can come in, throw questions, but I think there should be a collage of questions so to enable the person who is answering you look at it and sum it up. Of course, he kept Azu. We have been on the webinar. This is the third webinar I am facing here today. I've been a bit exhausted, but be that as it may, the last speaker, our great elder statesman, Enyeribe, pardon me if I don't pronounce well, I will get the name well. I would like to correct, sir. I don't know whether I'm right.
Yes, go ahead.
You're right.
Okay, so I wanted to follow up in certain ways that to sometimes when I listen to some of the questions being asked, it appears that we are asking too much, really, from NIDOE, some of the Nigerian associations, as it were, relatively where they are. You know, most times I look at that quote, Roosevelt will say, ask not what America will do for you, but ask what you can do for America. And when you trickle it down a little bit. I'm not coming to ask questions, actually. I wanted to buttress something shortly. Our elder statesmen have gone home and seen experience. And I will all suggest that I think he took the political men's speech for a war to take to the bank. And that is where the mistake might be. When our political representative, they travel in diaspora in search of things, they give you a lot of promises that make you think when you go back home, you can actually add value the way they want it. That will not be true. But again, I believe he summarized it by saying that actually they don't want you there. Of course, it's typical of our Nigerians. You will now ask yourself, those who, because first start with what does really a Nigerian association and what does NIDOE really means? It is a platform for advocacy for what you think can be pulled together for the interest of Nigerians where they reside, how they can interact and put these concerns to maybe various authorities where it is needed. But unfortunately, as we begin to converge, our problems becomes much more enumerated and it becomes cumbersome, from whom tomorrow you will even be given the leadership to handle. You know, there is something too different. When you are a spectator in a football match, you are a better coach than the people who are playing the match, who are players. But when you are fielded into play, you actually know that you know nothing, because you will be confronted with anxiety, overzealousness, sometimes tension, and again, some intimidation. Factors will not play in. Then those ones who are viewing you from the spectator will now tell you how you should have shot it, whether east-western roll or backslide or shot. But it's okay. It is neither here or there. There is always one thing that somebody was saying, like, I think Chuma from France was asking Gbandi, you have ruled us. And I choose to, that language was particular. We don't rule you. A ruler is not a democrat. You know, you have leaders. They are supposed to be called the stewards. What sociology, the early term, the first stewards to serve. You know, if you are not poised by passion to serve, and there is what is called in sociology acquired and inscribed role. When you go there, you get carried and you get intoxicated. That is where rulership comes in. Check, all of us have left our various abode in diaspora. And eventually we began to search for how to fit in. And some were lucky. If you look at, what I call it, Charles Darwin's law of survival of the fittest. So some who were faster, if you use the Mendel law of chromosomes, moving faster, moved faster to understand that you gain academics, to enable you have a balance, a foundation to be able to pursue. Others came in and said, no, let's leave the foundation and pursue some of the material things that begins to give you a class. So you begin to have conflict already going on how to integrate in the society. And as such, you will find out from the background of where we are coming in. That is what to mention when we are talking about socio-cultural organizations, to help people to understand where they want to fit in. I'm saying all this using a case study. So you might come to Germany because of the laws of the land that are there, laws of the land, it can help shape. And you follow us who lives in the UK. Some of the laws are foundational laws for the UK that has to do with how people are conformed to live. You begin to even see some in the UK who are not well educated, but they have to conform to the societal norms and values. Then you come to Italy where we live. Also, there's an issue. I want to embrace why sometimes you look at, say, association. They don't entirely solve the problems of we as a people. What they do is that they create a platform where these concerns can be garnered, collate, and as such, push it to nearly authorities that can help us further advocate for it, where, because it might not be a problem. Some of them are policy issues. Some of them are also as a result of our attitude some of our officers' attitude to how they pay attention to some of our issues. These are frustrations you will bear as a leader. My point in all these things is that never you ever be thinking that it is a tea party for you to carry all you have and going to Nigeria, and you want them to carry it hook, line, and sinker. Let me take it a local palace. Na lie. You know they happen. Now, but I must assure you one thing. You see the advocacy for our franchise, that is non-negotiable. I can tell you that I have had the opportunity of interacting with people from different countries, and as such, also some of the advanced thing we see. No time in diaspora you advocate for things like this, they will accept it back home easily. The reason is that the people you have as the back players now understands the power, the potence of what diaspora can be. In fact, have we ever forgotten? Because the basic thing is we have forgotten history too long. And it's equally affecting the young folks who are coming up. A guy who was born by 83 when Buhari took over, is over that something here does not understand who Buhari was. He has seen Buhari say Baba. Buhari by 1983, 31st December coup. It was January, if you know what the army were doing on the streets of everywhere, no young folks will be asked to have voted in 2015 that water. But unfortunately, history has been told, and people who lack to understand their history will never know where they are going to. So it's a matter of, first of all, the people in diaspora, what has changed them? Because there is what is called stimulus. When a stimulus chases you away from a particular place, because either hunger or quest for something as a stimulus moves you towards a direction, you'll be looking for food. Until you get that food, you'll be able to even relax at 1 minute to be able to think. Now the quest is about, there is lack of governance, unemployment, and when you don't have something, poverty is the stimulus that is moving the people more out place. And when he moves that with desperacy, you begin to go to a lot of places. You ask yourself, when they come to this union, why is it that they don't join the unions? Because a typical Nigerian has built selfishness. He will ask, what can this union do for me? And as such, if you don't have such things to attract them, you lose the real steam to drive some of the things you might want to drive. So what I'm saying is, first, no matter how small it is, let us begin to sensitize at every spot, using the platform, if it is church, if it is because we are beginning to gather at tribal unions, other things, let us begin to sensitize our people. Most of us that have even here started giving birth to children. I wonder what some of them say. In my place, a case study, you have somebody will ask, let us go and destroy Nigeria. Let us be tribalistic. That is how you know people who are petty. The basic reason why Nigeria is where it is because some selfish people reduced it to ethnic level. It began now to wield the very fabric that wanted to glue us together, began now to tear so drastically. You will see somebody who lived abroad to form a union where advocacy, he's telling you he must, because he's a tribal person, he wants to look for his tribal man. And yet he comes to where people are brainstorming. He tells you that he went to school in Nigeria. You begin to wonder, what kind of school did the person go to? What kind of orientation did the person have, even from where he got to? And that's where we are. I've not seen, it is because we don't build that nationalism of how we're abroad, that we are being seen as Nigerians, not as an Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, or wherever you come from your individual area. So we have a lot of work, because the franchise, the moment we all articulate that and say, it is time for us to look at that, we're in 2020 and we are moving. Imagine when Jonathan, they were talking by 2010, Vision 2020. Imagine where Schumer and me, everybody are here. 2020 has arrived, Vision. And he was speaking in Davos. At the time, he was asked to come to Davos in Switzerland. He was optimistic. Okonjo-Iweala, they were all optimistic. We are in 2020, about to finish. COVID-19 has made us where we are still thinking of vision. Imagine what 21 and 22 can be. But I am not hopeless. I'm not pessimist. I continue to advocate. I must always use this word. Let us change the slogan. The advocacy for us in diaspora to understand that there's need for us now to rise up. It is no more NSAS sensitizing us, but advocacy. Don't look at union for leadership. All these people who are clannish men, who looks for power, who looks for leadership, who are desperate about it, they will offer you nothing. They only end up even causing more problem. So I wanted only to follow Sada. Don't give up. The advocacy for us to have a voting right in diaspora, it is not something we will not achieve. But will it come easy? The answer is no. So we use various organs to begin to advocate it using platform. Schengen Magazine, few years ago, he can testify it, was a magazine even with the good friends who are telling him that this is not possible. But I am one person who told you impossible is nothing.
Yes. Very
that
correct.
We must take it, it must be a place. And you can tell from where we are now and where we were how many years ago to what Schengen Magazine is doing, at which platform you are now speaking. For the first time in history, maybe people don't know, you are now speaking in America, you're speaking in Asia, Africa, everywhere. And I follow you on all the platform I
That's very correct.
No, I belong.
Yes, that's
I'm a fighter. And I'm a soldier.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. At this point, let me leave others to intervene. Thank you.
Yes. Omeliko, Mike, please, you need to talk. Sir, did you hear the response from Sam Hodge? That's the president of Nigerian community here in Italy. And he has given a very good insight to what you said. So everybody is making wonderful input. Everybody is saying great things here. Yes, Honorable Sam, the meeting, the conference, the virtual meeting was a one-on-one with the outgoing chairman of NIDOE. He stayed for 20-30 minutes and begged to leave. He told me he would be leaving. But yes, questions were put to him, and yes, they were answered in the little time he had. So thank you so much. A lot is going on YouTube. There are so many people putting questions, so many people following up also. But I don't want to take your time because we work on time, and I know you all have your various endeavors, things to go on to do. So please, we will reconnect again 2 weeks from now on the 5th of December. We're coming back again with the new chairman of NIDOE, Dr. Bashiru. He will be the guest one-on-one with him. So if you're there, please join that meeting. The new, present chairman of NIDOE, Dr. Bashir, will be here in 2 weeks' time. So I want to thank you all. I don't want to take more time. Mazi Azu, do you want to give a submission, a last submission?
Before he gives a submission, I want to find out something from Mazi Azu. Since he's standing for the emeritus. Is the Jagaban there?
Mazi Azu.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Azu, I'm waiting for you. Please. Azu? Is he there? Is he there?
I think he's in another meeting also.
Yes.
Honorable
I wanted to throw a question to. This is NIDOE now. I want to throw it, but my question. This one I want to ask.
Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be back. 5 minutes.
Are you sure you are not doing some aside there, this man? Because I know you.
Okay.
We can't be waiting.
But I want to first of all, before you go Schengen, please.
Yes, sir.
Let us acknowledge Omeliko.
Yes.
Yes, you say one-on-one. Next time, give the one-on-one. These are people who are making effort.
No. We're even coming to you. You too, you're coming on one-on-one, but we're taking it.
No, don't worry about me.
Next week.
Look at that Dr. Anyanwu. Look at that Dr. Anyanwu. Get his number for us. The reason is he's coming from a professional point of view. And this one, listen, let me tell you one thing I want to say here. One-on-one is good. Not for me. I'm not looking for a place to sell myself.
No.
You know better. It is question to know what is happening in Italy.
Yes.
Let me tell you, at least I start to beat my chest, but I want to tell you recently, Omeliko, if he's still there, you have Ogarako, because most times we don't, these Nigerians we are standing in for. There are men who have made sacrifices. Their time, money has spent. I can tell you very well. I'm widely connected and traveled on this thing. Like we are saying today, there is somebody, Ogarako, who represented the Nigerians in Italy and Africans as a whole in the parliament of Padova. Anybody who knows Italy and knows Padova very well, there is something significant about them. One of the most erudites in the north of central of Italy comes from those Padova area, Veneto, particular. Right. Now, but that is, by the way, he has relocated to UK, doing things. Gradually, sir, we are doing a lot of things. What we need now is to equip most of our young folks with skills and capacity building.
God bless you.
And that's why I wanted to ask because Azu, I want to congratulate him for winning the election. I've been on NIDOE, and I've been following what we were supposed to be in Germany, so we had to go on web now. So I am quite aware of that the new chairman now is an experienced person. After failing the election severally for 2 times, he won the 3rd time. Maybe it's the Buhari, but let him not be Buhari in action. Yes, listen, he has gathered experience. I must give it to him. But you see, this NIDOE, this is where I will fight Abike Dabere. I spoke with her. These are the issues I talk about when people are tribalistic. I am a Nigerian. I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. I speak Yoruba. Went to Asarudin Primary School. Speak also more of the Quran. Grew up and went to the East. I'm a farmer. By the time I serve in the North. They can't tell me better than Nigeria. Most of them abroad don't even know Nigeria very well. Even Azu that is almost a co knows Lagos alone. But by virtue of grace, yes. I'm a grassroots. When I see them talking, I know him way back. We were mates in school. Okay?
Yeah, a small boy.
No, I'm not a small boy. I entered Unica 1991.
Oh, I was already chasing by then.
Put your question.
Hold on, I want to go to Meliko. That was brought it. Don't worry, you can interact.
Yes.
I am here now.
Okay, he's here now.
I wanted to wait for let us also thank Meliko. Hold on, I want to say something. What I'm saying that for people to know, Schengen magazine in France and Dublin, to know, that is one man, Meliko, that Nigerians has been suffering a lot of injustice. And reports will come to me as the president. And I will look at it. There are certain things we need to confront the laws with. And Omeliko is well grounded. Look at him. He's from Benue State, a pharmacist by profession, trained. So when I'm talking about professionals who understand at the grassroots, we began because I knew from time I assumed office the power of the media. That's why I'm talking about Schengen. We had to go to media. Today, that thing now we are saying has now brought down a question of the government of the day at the host area to invite now for dialogue because they think that the only people who have monopoly to bully people. My point is, in all these things is, when you see people who are doing something behind the scene, acknowledge them so that they can be poised to do more.
Thank you.
Azu, congratulations, Azu.
Please, I don't know. I want to greet everybody.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm very sorry I came late. And
yeah, that's the elder statesman, either from France.
Either disappeared.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I'm happy we are all here. We're not all that very here. So what I just want to say is when I came, I met Sam speaking, and what he said, I would like to say just one thing about it. That is, he's using the word, that expression, what do you call it, tribal.
Yeah.
Tribal, even Achebe himself always frowned at that expression, tribal something. We have to stop it because it is not, nothing is tribal in Nigeria. We are all ethnicity
connected.
Extraction. Tribal is always something that is useful. It's a derogatory, is something that is derogatory, used by the white people to put us down.
Absolutely.
So I think we And those of us who have been to school, I think I have been to school too, we have to stop that word expression, because in the first place, when you see how many Igbos do we have in Nigeria? How many Hausas? How can you call them tribes or Yorubas? Even me, I'm an Ibira man. We are more than 2 million people in Nigeria. We're not tribes. We are ethnic groups. That's all. And I'm sorry to correct you, my young man, Sam. I really like what you said about tribal sentiment. That is now. But let's use the right word: ethnical extraction. Differentiation. I think, as Sam has already said it, there is nothing coming back to it. And I thank him for for talking for me. That's all.
Thank you so much. We are making so much progress. You people don't know that something big is about to explode from Nigerians in diaspora. And they know something big is about to come up. When we begin to have a united front like this, voice together, we are connected. We are also happy with ourselves. There's no animosity. Everybody has a plain heart, and we are connecting like this. Believe me, something is going to come out of it. So I'm full of excitement here with what is happening.
I'm not asking a question.
Mazi Azu, there's a question for you, and you have to give your last submission before we go. Honorable Dada is here from Mantova, and he's a very good friend of mine. Dada, will you like to make any comments? Mr. Dada? Okay. Go ahead.
I'm coming. Let me just leave this place because it's very noisy.
Okay.
Is Azu back there, please?
Yes, Azu is back.
Okay. Azu, are you there?
Yes.
I'm here, my man. I'm here.
Honorable man. Now, first of all, let me officially, on this platform, congratulate you for returning a mandate that you had before now, under a new leadership. And because you're standing in, there is a question I needed to ask was, NIDOE has an EU representative, and by special mandate also mandated to have somebody elected on that position. And since the inception, we have not been getting things that has to do with the EU. And I am asking, I have been with people around the areas of governance in Nigeria, and the EU projects are directly discussed with some of these government officials at Nigerian level, knowing quite well that there is an umbrella advocacy platform where Nigerians who are living in diaspora paying tax at different places with a statutory representation have not had a powerful, I will call maybe a lobbyist who can also divert that particular thing to where NIDOE Europe, by extension, their chapters and Nigerians to benefit from some of the EU projects. Example was immigration. Of course, you had Rudolph from Germany or so, who was talking about dealing with NAPTIC. I was laughing at the day he was talking about that, as if NAPTIC came to what we call deputanti, the House of Deputies in Rome, and where I was there. Then the next Senate President of the Italian Parliament who were there, and the governor of Edo State came in because they are predominantly having the issues of trafficking. But at the end of the day, with the political abrakata, they took us away. What I want to understand is, how robust is this time? Do we have an EU representative whom will definitely engage and make sure that it trickles down, that these political jobbers we have back home can go behind us to come in and collect some of what they call the SDG issues, as it were? Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Mazi Azu, are you there?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to use the opportunity to thank my very good friend, Chief Samson, for his commendation and his support, as always, over the years. I want to also appreciate the great work he's doing with Nigerian community in Italy. And his versatile knowledge and awareness of what is happening around him, both in Italy and also elsewhere in Europe and also back home in Nigeria. I do highly appreciate such versatility and ability to put such things into a strong perspective in terms of action plans for the greater benefit of Nigerians in the diaspora, most especially those in Italy and Nigeria as a whole. I do agree with you. I think the problem over the years has been the misconception of the role of the European representative or European relation officer within the NIDOE BOT structure. And I have always been one of those that has been advocating for the actual implementation of the responsibilities of such an elected officer within the board, which has not been so replicated in the last, I would say, 18 years of the functions of the BOT as a body in Europe. And that is as a result of the fact that there are people who preach to be in power, or what are they, in quote, in power as an elected officer, but lack the well-to-do, lack the capability to deliver in that particular office in terms of the terms of references of deliverability from such an office. And that has been the problem, because people think that the post of an European relation officer is about interfacing with the few known people within NIDOE structures at meetings or at AGMs or at some relative invited events. But that goes beyond that. The post of the European Relation Officer is in two dimensions. One is the ability of such an officer, such a person, being able to understand the structure and functionality of each chapter across the 22 chapters of NIDOE in Europe, and also to understand how the European Union functions in terms of NGO relationship and intergovernmental relationship with private and public sector organizations. And we have not had that, we have not been able to tap into that facility. We have not been able to dip our hands and eyes into that opportunities in Europe. And I believe that with the new coming officer, Monica Emmanuel, who has been working very well, I mean, this is the first time we're having somebody who has a relationship, has a working relationship with the European Union and European agencies in Brussels and also in Switzerland. And I believe that with her in-depth knowledge and versatile network with the European Union, she will bring some new dimension and new horizon to the way NIDOE benefits from the European key project facilities that we have not been able to tap into the last 18 years. And I believe that this opportunity is right there before us, and I hope that Monica will be able to bring that forth for us. So we look forward to a better relationship with the...
Hi, buddy. So do you mind shutting this one down?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, this one.
Sorry, please give me a second, yeah?
Okay, thank you. But at least he has made his, he answered the question. Do we have any more comment? Is Mike Omenico there? Okay. Yes, as Honorable Chris. Honorable Chris, your hands are up. Go ahead, sir. You're welcome also. Welcome to the forum.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome. I just want to say thank you. All protocols as before is assured. I just want to say thank you for the work. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Very well, yes, sir. Go ahead. We can all hear you.
My name is Honorable Chris Sabai.
Agba, yes.
I'm the vice chair, the second of CANUC, the Central Association of Nigerians in the United Kingdom. Primarily, we look after the Nigerians in the United Kingdom. However, my chair, who I report to, whom I will be briefing after this meeting, the chairman is a very staunch member of NIDOE, and there is a need for us to, we do work together, CANUC and NIDOE, we work very closely together, very sister brotherly relationships. One of the things that I wanted to raise here is a lot of my members of our associations asked me to put forward that possibly the NIDOE should work a little bit harder with regard to getting the vote in Nigerian vote for people in diaspora. That way we have a stronger political voice. That is just one of the issues that come into my basket, which I can do nothing about. We normally move that on to NIDOE, because while NIDOE is concerned with Nigeria, we are more concerned with people living within the country.
Yes.
So just something I'd like people. Yeah, we're more concerned with people living within the UK.
Yes.
So something that I'd like your leaders to sort of put at the back of their mind in their deliberations is something that will give us a bit more authority if we had the vote. And the way I see it, that vote will people will not be able to buy that vote from us, where you can't come and give me 1,000 naira and tell me to vote for you. If we have that vote, it would give political capital to our people in diaspora, which they'll feel they have more of a voice. Second point is, note that the second most point of income for Nigeria is the remittances being made from Europe and America to Nigeria. It is the second highest source of income for Nigeria. So we in diaspora are funding Nigeria in many ways. That is the second highest source of income. So asking to give us a vote, which my member said, well, look, if it's a case of dynamics, they'll pay for it to get their voters card. It's something that I'd like people to put at the back of their mind. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm looking forward to knowing Monica Emmanuel, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chris.
Sorry, I didn't catch up quickly, but I think I catch up a little bit at the end.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it will be. I mean, it will be an honor to link you up with Monica Emmanuel. She's based in Switzerland, but has a lot of engagement with the EU and other agencies in Brussels. Basically, I think that is the way forward for us at the new BOT executive that are coming in, and we want to go beyond the immigration relation. We want to go beyond youth engagement. We want to go beyond educational exchange programs. We want to tap into some areas of industrializations, areas of agricultural innovations, and things that are going to allow us begin to tap into an era of zero oil economy. And I think that is the future alignment of Nigeria, is about thinking about zero oil economy. When we don't have oil, what next? So we begin to look at how we can tap into that post-Brexit, post-EU disengagement with Britain, and how we can, as Nigerians, benefit from both ends of that economic interjection when it all begin to work out openly from January next year. And so, moving forward, I mean, making a conclusion to the discussions, I would say that it's been a good one, and we look forward to engaging with as many people that are here this evening in the future. NIDOE is for every one of us, like the last speaker said. The highest revenue generation of the Nigerian government, apart from oil, is the diaspora remittance, and is a very key area of the Nigerian economy. If Nigerians tomorrow, and why Honorable Kenneth Gbandi said the government is afraid of the diaspora, this is one of the two things why the government is afraid of the diaspora. One is they estimate that the raw figures we are given about Nigerians in the diaspora is not the exact. But then, if they should allow diasporans to vote, already figures are flying all over the place. Some people say that Nigerians in Sudan alone are up to 2 million or 3 million. Nigerians in Saudi Arabia are about 3, 4, 5 million already. So, and they already been calculating. Some areas we who are in Europe are underestimating. They in Nigeria are already calculating how many people they can manipulate up in Africa, and so they are afraid that the moment they give the diaspora the opportunity to vote, some of them may not even be smelling the government house in some places in Nigeria, and some of them may find it difficult to influence the outcomes in terms of the voters' propensities across Africa or Europe or America. And so that's one key area they are afraid of, the Nigerians in diaspora. And secondly, the greatest fear they have is the moment the diasporans decide to call up a mandate to stop remittance to Nigeria for one day, Nigerian economy will go under a serious perpetual sickness. It will go into a very serious perpetual sickness. So they know that if a call by a mutually agreed Nigerian organizations across America, Europe, Asia, Africa says today to all their members, today to all their followers, today to all their comrades, today to all their colleagues, please, for 1 week we are sending no money to Nigeria, either by black market or by official process.
White market.
The Nigerian economy will collapse. That they won't even find money to do anything, because all that they are using, some of the money they are using at the moment are money that people have been sending, that they've been keeping in the central bank and keeping and using it to shock the money they are manufacturing or whatever. So these two things is two key areas why they are afraid of the diasporans, and they do not want to engage with us in a way that we vote against them. They do not want to engage with us that they cannot sign any serious MOU or engagement with the diaspora that they will end up to break up. So they don't want to go into that. So the little they can do, they will do. But then we, the diasporans, have to wake up and know that we hold the key to bringing Nigeria to what we in the diaspora think Nigeria should be. Because you took the likes of Zik, Awolowo, Nahoro, and the rest of them, who were also diasporan graduates or diasporan returnees in Nigeria in the early 40s and 50s, that decided that enough of the Europeans and enough of the funny colonial system in Nigeria, and stood their ground and fought until independence came to our hands. And so it will also take a bit of some radical, zealous, serious, committed compatriots of Nigerians to say to Nigerians of today and tomorrow, enough of all this political and democratic shenanigans that are going on in the country, that are rather taking the country economically advanced, is bringing the country down the economic trend. And as such, many of us in the diaspora cannot just close our eyes to see Nigeria collapse, except we all are looking forward to have a new country out of Nigeria in the next 10, 15 years. Then we all can close our eyes and wait for that new country to emerge. But if Nigeria remains, then we all as diasporans will have to put our hands together. We have to do all we can to ensure that we make it a standing and a serious mandate to those who are governing the country at the moment to wake up and sit up and do the right thing for the benefit of everybody, both those at home and those of us outside the shores of the country. And that is why I will encourage everybody, wherever you are, to identify with the Nigerian in diaspora organizations in your country. Wherever you are in Europe, there is a chapter located in everywhere. If you can't find one through any friends or relations you know in that country, you can go to the embassy and make inquiry, and they will be able to tell you where to find NIDOE officials in that country, and you can identify yourself with them and make your contribution. And I believe your contribution will go along. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mazi Azu. You have really represented and stood for the Emirates, our great friend Kenneth. I don't know, some hands are still coming up, but I'm looking at time, and I'm looking at the time because of you. I won't want us to linger on too long here, so that whenever we come up again, you will willingly want to join, and there won't be complaint of time. So can we reserve the questions for next time? We are coming again in the next 2 weeks, and it will be wonderful again with the new NIDOE chairman. So if you really think the questions are very important, can it be written out? And I pass to the channel to where the questions are being sent to. Can you write out the questions? Okay. So on that note, I want to say thank you to everybody. Mazi Godson Azu, the Osinachindi Igbo, the re-elected NIDOE BTO Welfare and Social Officer, standing in for the outgoing chairman, NIDOE Kenneth Gbandi. He was here with us about 30 minutes, and he took the questions from the YouTube section, from your section. And I also want to thank Honorable Dawn from Holland, one of the panelists, and my partner, Chuma from France. You are all doing great. Believe me, let's keep this flame burning. Let's keep this flame. Let's continue in this way, and results will come out. Our voices will be heard. Actions will be taken, and a new Nigeria will spring up. Yes, a new Nigeria will spring up. So I want to thank you all for coming. Honorable Chris, thank you so much for coming. My senior man, Samson, you're still putting your hands up. Do you still want to say something?
No, I didn't put my hands, so. Okay,
okay. So with this, I say, see you next week, next 2 weeks with Dr. Bashir. I hope to see all of you, and come along with one question for him while we also continue with other events. So have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, Nigeria is changing for good. And that change begins with me and you. And it will happen. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah, Honorable Matthew.